The South African president, His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa, has addressed what he calls the recent violent protests and criminal acts directed towards foreign nationals. He reveals that
also on this note, I'm not happy about what is going on in South Africa today.
It's offensive that you think so little of yourself that you compare yourself to a 3% population.
We are a conquered nation. I said that, didn't I?
The best president ever, the mouthpiece of the world. Yeah, the only president who portrays South Africa as the...
Guys, there is fire on the mountain. Recently, the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, came out to issue a statement warning the Dudula and the March on March people to stop the protest because a lot of South Africans are now going to different shops. As they are protesting, they are looting people's items. I'm going to be sharing a couple of videos here for you all to see and see how the president of South Africa was addressing South Africans and the March on March leaders. And also, the leader of the March on March in Zugi, his house was set ablaze by unknown men. I don't know the reason why, but I'm going to be sharing all videos here for you all to watch. Please, those you're watching, do so well to drop a comment. Tell me what you think about this video. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel to join the family.
the South African president, His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa, has addressed what he calls the recent violent protests and criminal acts directed towards foreign nationals. He reveals that these acts are unconstitutional and they don't represent South Africans as a people. In a lengthy message, this is exactly what he had to say. Everyone in South Africa must respect and uphold our laws. Dear fellow South African, the recent violent protests and criminal acts directed at foreign nationals in parts of our country do not represent the views of South Africa's people, nor reflect our government's policy. These are the acts of opportunists who are exploiting the legitimate grievances, particularly those of the poor, under the false guise of community activism. Some of these people are assuming functions that only state officials are permitted to perform, including stopping people to check identification and conducting searches of private property. Such lawlessness will not be tolerated regardless of who the perpetrators or victims are. At the same time, as a society, we need to deal decisively and within the law with the challenge of illegal immigration, which risks our social stability, governance, and national security. Undocumented migration places strain on healthcare, housing, and municipal services, particularly in poor communities. It distorts the labor market. In a country with high unemployment, some employers are exploiting undocumented, cheaper foreign labor over hiring citizens and paying them legal wages. Not only is this fueling social tension, it is actively undermining our labor protection regime and eroding the hard-won rights of workers. In tackling illegal migration, we are balancing our constitutional and international obligations with safeguarding national security. The Border Management Authority, that is the BMA, and the Defense Force are strengthening border security and combating illicit cross-border activity. We commend the BMA for successfully intercepting some 450,000 people trying to enter South Africa illegally in the past financial year. As we strengthen our borders, we continue to reform our migration and citizenship framework. We are stepping up workplace enforcement against employers who hire undocumented foreign nationals in violation of labor and immigration laws. We announced in the State of the Nation address that we will be hiring up to 10,000 inspectors through the Department of Labor and Employment to ensure that our labor and immigration laws are adhered to. We continue to arrest and deport undocumented foreign nationals in accordance with the law as we take forward the fight against corruption within the immigration system. This is a society-wide challenge in which the private sector and government should all play a constructive part. South African citizens who collude with undocumented foreign nationals in fake marriages, the illegal sale of state-subsidized housing, or accepting bribes to facilitate access to social services only deepen the problem. Many South Africans are exploiting undocumented labor in households and in the informal sector. As a country, we must reject attempts to damage our country's international reputation and to undermine the solidarity that has defined South Africa's relations with the rest of Africa since the dawn of democracy. Since 1994, we have actively advanced the culture of human rights, all the while deepening the cause of African integration, cooperation, and solidarity. We have a strong refugee protection framework that prioritizes integration of persons displaced by conflict, war, and persecution. Refugees are not confined to camps as happens in some other countries. In South Africa, they are able to live in communities, participate in the economy, and access services like healthcare and education. South Africa continues to play its part in deepening regional economic integration and travel. Last year alone, visitors from African countries accounted for just over 8 million of a total of 10.5 million tourist arrivals. South Africa invests significantly in strengthening academic, cultural, and institutional ties with the rest of Africa through hosting students and academics from Africa in our universities, through people-to-people exchanges, and though our hosting of the Pan-African Parliament. Our demonstrated commitments to deepening African integration and solidarity should not be undermined by isolated acts of criminality. South Africa is not unique in confronting the pressures associated with undocumented migration. Many countries across the world, including in Africa, are themselves grappling with similar tensions. This calls for cooperation and understanding between countries on the continent and further afield. Like every other country in the world, we will continue asserting our sovereign rights to regulate migration, secure our borders, and enforce our laws. We must make it clear that there is no place in South Africa for xenophobia, ethnic mobilization, intolerance, or violence. Everyone in South Africa is bound by the same laws, and we are committed to ensure that they are respected and upheld by citizens and foreign nationals alike. With best regards, signed, Cyril Ramaphosa. After digesting the
It is reported apparently that in Ngizwe Mkhunu's house or houses or Randava's houses were burning earlier on. It is circulating here on social media. Is it a good thing? No, it's a bad thing. I think whatever that happened there, it's a bad thing. We shouldn't be celebrating it. However, I personally do not believe any person from anywhere came and burned those houses. I don't believe that. I don't believe it was arson. I believe it was a well orchestrated plan by Ngizwe and his friends to achieve two things. One, so that he can get donation to build proper houses because he didn't have a proper house. Secondly, so that he can act as if people from outside drove all the way from wherever they stay and went to look for his house, Randaville house, and touch them. That I do not believe. I don't believe that. Like I said, it's not a good thing that somebody's Randaville's house was burning, but I don't believe somebody from outside did that. I believe it's an inside job to achieve two things. One, so that he can get money for donation, because that's what he does. He lives off donations. He want to build a better house off donations of his followers. Secondly, he want to portray that somebody is following him and they want to get rid of him, which I don't believe any person want to get rid of that fool. I don't agree with anything that happened to his houses, but I do not believe somebody did that. Nobody would want to have that fool, because people understand that he's just a guy that lives off begging. He's a beggar. I mean, a beggar will do anything. He will sing for his supper any day. That's my belief. I don't care who thinks what. I do not believe any person could live wherever they stay and go to wherever Jesus stays and go touch those Randaville's of his. I don't believe that. But on the lighter note, I saw a picture which made me laugh that suggested that Indlu Shangani is better than Indlu Ngizwe Mkhunu. Maybe that's why he's jealous. That's why maybe Mona. That's why he's Mkhopolo. Because Indlu Shangani is more than Indlu Ngizwe or Izindlu Ngizwe, which are those hundreds of Randaville's that we're burning earlier on today. It's just on a lighter note.
I'm telling you, give me 5 million. Give me 5 million and see ukuthi abantu bangangena la South Africa. Give me 5 million, only 5 million for food only. I will take in sizwa mina la. Sihambe siyohlala eboard for 3 months. Nobody is going to come into this country. No one will come to this country. Ngihleli lapha eboard mina.
The best president ever, the mouthpiece of the world. Yeah, the only president who portrays South Africa as one of the best in terms of addressing the matters of paramount importance in the world. To make sure that there is no conflict, to report the genocide. The person who restored the integrity of majority of us as Africans. Understand? And then many African countries copied exactly to the President Ramaphosa, because he is the only president who carried a bull with its own horns. Guys, bigger president, no matter whatever they can say about you, but you will be remembered as one of the best president ever after Mandela.
Guys, when you check out some of those videos I shared here, you could see that the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, issued a statement telling the March-on-March protesters and the Dudula people to stop the protest because it's criminal acts. And also, we went further to hear news of the Nzigwe I think is part of the leaders of the March on March that his house was set ablaze by unknown people. I think it is because of the March on March, because when you come to South Africa, it is not all South Africans that support this March on March protest, foreigners leaving their country. It is not all South Africans that do that. So I think it is the opposition people that went to set his house ablaze. I don't know, but I want to know what you think in the comment section. Drop your comments and don't forget to like the video, share the video and subscribe.